Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a little story time about my journey with my skin because as you can see right now, I kind of have one pimple coming right here, but as you can see, if you just look at me quickly, it looks like I just have naturally good skin, but this is not the case. So I have dealt with eczema pretty intensely for about 8-ish years now. Well, or no, 5-ish years, because it started my senior year of high school. So I figured I would let you guys in on the story of how I kind of got the diagnosis of having it be eczema and how then I coped with that and eventually got my skin to where it is. Throughout this, I'll try to find pictures and whatnot of times where my skin was more in a rough time period. But yeah, I'm not a doctor. I'll just say that before even talking, really. So don't come at me if what I say is wrong or whatever. This is just in my situation, what happened and how I deal with it. So like I said, I've always grown up with fairly good looking skin. It's always looked like this. I never even really dealt with breakouts too much. Here and there I would get the typical acne spot, usually somewhere on my chin or whatever, growing up, going through puberty, all that fun stuff. But early into my senior year of high school was when I noticed that my lips were starting to get really sensitive and just really chapped. And I thought this was just because of playing the flute, and especially it was marching band season. So I would have band class during the day, and then I also did jazz band rehearsals after school and marching bands, and I was just playing so much that I thought maybe I was allergic to the metal, and I was trying to Google stuff, and it seemed pretty accurate at the time. So I figured, okay, well, I can't stop playing the flute. I was the section leader in all my high school bands and everything, and it was just a huge part of my life back then. So I basically just got a bandage kind of thing from the school nurse, and I covered up the mouthpiece of a flute where because if you're not familiar with a flute, imagine this is kind of that piece where then you blow across, and so you're right here really touches on the mouthpiece a whole bunch, and it was my lips were getting super chapped, and then right here it was getting really raw skin. It was so painful. And so I noticed it would be less irritable when I was using that bandage on it. So I figured, okay, that's fine. But even throughout the rest of my senior year, I was still in band, so it definitely was still an issue, but I just kept up with that whole kind of bandage situation. But then the summer after my senior year is when I noticed, because at first it was just right there, which was what made me think it was more of an allergy. But then I started noticing, I know it's pretty common for people with eczema to have itchy redness inside your elbows. I currently don't have that going on right now, and I haven't really had it going on too much for a while now, once again, knock on wood. But I started noticing that, and I kind of slowly was kind of piecing together their correlation. And then I was talking to my best friend too, who she actually has dealt with eczema for a long time as well, and has it pretty badly. And through talking with her, I kind of realized it was a lot we were sharing similar feelings and just how it comes about. So then I kind of was able to recognize that on my elbows at least was eczema, and I then did some research, and I found that you can get eczema basically anywhere on your body, including face. So I was just really unlucky to get on my face, somewhere that's so easy to see and really hard to hide. And then going into my first semester of college was when my lips definitely got the worst. It would be so raw. I hope I can find one of the pictures. I remember taking a picture where it was just literally raw skin all right here, and then it would scab up. But of course it's hard to keep that whole area clean because you're eating, drinking and whatnot, so it would just constantly open up with the scabs. It's so gross to think about right now. I can't even, really, really happy it didn't like leave a scar or anything. Like it looks completely fine and healed right now, and I haven't had that happen to me since junior year of college again. We'll get to that though. So I was, yeah, like during that time, I think it really got so bad because of my high stress level. I hated my college. I graduated from a different college. I had only went to this college my first semester of college, and then I transferred to BU after that. So I believe like the stress like had a lot to do with it. That was making it so prominent there. And so initially when I first noticed a really big irritation playing the flute back when I was in high school and I first saw it, I brought up the issue to my doctor, and he was like super not helpful in the slightest. I just brought it up to like my physician at the time, and basically said, use some Vaseline, hydrocortisone over the counter. That's all I can tell you. I don't really know. So then after my first semester of college, I like brought it up again. I said, hey, like this is like really nasty. It's not going away. I don't know what to do. And just basically said the same thing to me. Also around this time that I realized I could not use like any chapstick of any kind, like no Burt's Bees, no Vaseline or anything, or not even like those like really organic products. Yeah, that was a struggle, but then it really did clear up once I went to BU, and I was a lot happier there. So that was great. But then over that summer, I did end up going to a dermatologist, started being more helpful. They gave me a list of like all these products that people with eczema that go to dermatologists that have like severe cases, they tend to find work more so, and basically just told me you have to just like test out a whole bunch of different products and find the one that works best for you. Which I think to find kind of my regimen took me about like 6 months, not gonna lie. For a while it was pretty good until my junior year of college, first semester. I was living in this on-campus apartment, but they made the heat in there like maxed out, and they told us that it was either heat off or heat like all the way on. So it like I call it like fake heat affects my body really badly, but you know, it's like because I spent a semester abroad in Australia, my skin was doing great and I was always like in heat, but whenever it's like gas or like electric heat, my body just absolutely hates it. I was also kind of in a stressful dating situation, which also made my skin flare up. So I know definitely I have like a huge correlation between stress and eczema. So that leads me to like the things I use and do to keep my eczema at bay. So kind of first off, I know like a lot of people get told this, but really like eating as healthy as possible is when I notice like my skin is just doing the best. Working out, but when I do work out, I rinse my body off at least, like even if I can't have the time to have a full shower, like I at least like rinse my body off as soon as possible to prevent any like buildup of sweat. I do things to maintain my stress levels. I try, you know, like working out is like one of them to kind of get like my energy out and whatnot, because like I said, I know for me stress and my eczema is super correlated. I also avoid scented lotions and body washes in the shower. All I use is the Dove Sensitive, I think it's like Sensitive Skin Bar of soap, but it's like the unscented one, and the bar soap, where like any kind of liquidy soap just is a no-go for my body. And then along with that, I also try to use more pure shampoos and conditioners. Currently using what's the one that like every YouTuber's using? I forget, but like I try to use ones with like, you know, not a whole bunch of stuff in it, because when you're in the shower and like washes down your body, it like does fully affect you. And also with that, why can't I? Oh, Function of Beauty, that's the name. With Function of Beauty, you can also like do scented, or like you can choose your scent and like, or you can do unscented. I do put a scent in it, but I don't do like you can then do like if you want like a little scent or like more scent. So I do a little scent. That way my hair does smell good, but it's like not a ton of products going. I wash my face only once a day with CeraVe. I use like the clear liquid one. I don't use the foam one. The clear liquid one is just the one I like first tried, and it has not given me any issues since, knock on wood. But I also tried Cetaphil, which did work for me for a little bit, but then one day my body just said nope. Which I have noticed with some products, it will work for me for a little bit, and then all of a sudden my body will just reject it. So keep that in mind as well. So if you start noticing like products that have been tried and true to you, all of a sudden like you start seeing your skin kind of flare up again, you might just like have to go and find a new product, which I'm terrified of because there's not that many good eczema products out there. So I hope CeraVe stays with me for quite a bit longer. For like any kind of face makeup, I never put foundation on my face. I never was big into like facial kind of makeup or blush or anything to begin with, but yeah, like I just kind of go with what my face looks like there's some like impurities and whatever, but for me it's not worth having any kind of like eczema breakout. And also I don't put any sunscreen that you like typically use on my face. I instead get sunscreen from a dermatologist. I'm sure you can probably find it online too, but it's just ones that are like 100% zinc and nothing else. So while these can be a little more expensive, I only use that on my face, and I find it also like I only have to apply it once, and then like my face doesn't get sunburned with it for the whole day. You can use it on the rest of your body too, but like I said, it's expensive. So I found spray sunscreens I can use on the rest of my body, and I don't react like really terribly, at least for me to notice. So yeah, that's kind of like my journey with eczema and like what has worked best for me. Like I said before, it's like kind of a lot of trial and error with it, and just testing out what works best for you, because even though CeraVe works really well with me and keeps my eczema at bay, it might make you react really, really terribly. So it is something that's like ongoing. I haven't needed to go back to a dermatologist since I think I went back when it flared up my junior year, but after that I haven't been since, or felt the need to go back to a dermatologist about it at all. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you want to talk about how embarrassing you might feel by how your eczema flares up or whatever, I totally get that too. You can reach out to me, leave a comment down below. If you're not already, you should subscribe. I usually do more like Boston college-esque kind of vlogs and whatnot. So yeah, I hope you found this video, if not helpful, a little bit more comforting to know someone else also struggles out there with their skin. But just keep on testing it out and don't give up, and you can learn to live with it. Okay, have a good day, guys. Bye.